Hi everyone, Jim here. Welcome to my channel. Well, it's July. July is the advent of a new reading event called Private Eye July. And Private Eye July is a reading event where we celebrate, obviously, the reading of private eye fiction. I'm going to quote from the Private Eye Writers of America what a PI is. They call it a private eye is a private citizen who is paid to investigate crimes. They can be a traditional private eye, a TV or newspaper reporter, or an insurance investigator, or an employee of a private firm or agency. Now, the Private Eye Writers of America goal was, or is, to raise the private eye story from a subgenre of mystery to a genre of its own. And I'm going to be showing you a little later in a minute some books that were released by the Private Eye Writers of America, and I'll try to tell you a little bit more about them as we go. Now, we have some great co-hosts for Private Eye July, and they have been posting some amazing stuff, and I'm going to post all their links below, all their pages below, so you can go check them out, and hopefully you go look at watch their episodes, give them a like and give them a follow if you haven't followed them as of yet. But what I'm going to talk about today is Private Eye short stories. Now, the short stories, really the Private Eye short story originated in Black Mask magazine. Now, here's a big book. It's called the Black Lizard Big Book of Black Mask Stories. This came out a few years ago, and this has tons of stories in them. They're not all necessarily private eye stories, but there are a lot of private eye stories in here. I'm just going to go through. I've got a whole bunch of books here that I'm going to go through. I'm not going to go through everything I own because we'd be here forever, but there's a few here that I want to go through that I might want to, that I'll recommend to you. Black Mask magazine was, as I said, was where the PI originated, and initially it was Carol John Daly who created the Private Eye with his characters, Two Gun Terry Mack and Race Williams. So this is an anthology from Mysterious Library that has, I think, all of, if not most of the Race Williams stories that appeared in Black Mask. So that's just kind of a nice trade paperback volume if you're interested in that character. And of course, there's Dashiell Hammett. Now, there's all kinds of books and paperbacks that collect the Continental Op short stories, and there was also 3 Sam Spade short stories, which I have in another volume I don't have here with me to show you, but we have the Maltese Falcon, and then there's 3 short stories that feature the character of Sam Spade, but this one here features stories of the Continental Op. And then we have the other Black Mask writer, Raymond Chandler, and I'm just happy to have this edition of the collected short stories of Raymond Chandler. All his mystery and Philip Marlowe short stories are collected in this Everyman's Library volume, which is fantastic. So yeah, those are the Black Mask boys. And as I said, the PI story originated in Black Mask, but there's still PI short stories being written today, and these stories will appear in like Alfred Hitchcock magazine, Ellery Queen magazine. Over the years there was digest like the Mike Shane Mystery magazine, Shel Scott magazine, Manhunt, Pursuit. There was all kinds of digests that had these short stories, and there's a lot of collections out there of these. So now, I'm going to talk to you about the Private Eye Writers of America. Now, the Private Eye Writers of America was started in 1981, and it was created by Robert J. Randisi, who just recently died, as a matter of fact, unfortunately. But he was a very prolific writer. He wrote PI stories, he wrote westerns, he wrote all kinds of stuff. So he started that in 1981. And the Private Eye Writers of America is also the originators of the Shamus Awards, which are given out every year for the best novel, best original hardcover, best original paperback, best short story, which that award began in 1983, and then they have the Best First Novel, which those awards started being handed out in 1985. And then they have the Eye Award, which is a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now, I'm going to put the link for the Private Eye Writers of America website down below, so you can go in and check and see who the winners have been over the years. It's a great organization. They've been around for a long time, and they released a lot of anthologies over the years. I don't think I have them all, and I'm not even sure that I know of all of them. But I'm going to show you what I do have. The first anthology that they released was this one from the Mysterious Library, The Eyes Have It. And this is edited by Robert J. Randisi. This is a nice trade paperback. I bought this brand new, and I've read it so many times that the pages are starting to fall out. But this is a great book to have, and I should probably buy another copy one of these days, because as I said, this one's falling apart. But yeah, good book. And they followed it up with this anthology called Mean Streets. And again, this is just the best of the PI stories that came out that particular year. Stories by Robert J. Randisi, Max Allan Collins, Lauren D. Esterman, Sue Grafton, Stuart M. Kaminsky, Rob Kantner, Sarah Paretsky, Bill Pronzini. So yeah, these are worth picking up. And then they went down to mass market paperback size. And if you see it on the big banner there, Private Eye Writers of America presents, and this is the Shamus game. And just, as the last ones were, the great PI stories that appeared that year. So that's the Shamus game. They followed that up with Mystery Street. And then we have Most Wanted. And there was one in the middle there. I think the third one was called An Eye for Justice. And that's one I don't have. But I've got my eye out for that one. So, yeah, there was Most Wanted. Then they did a collaboration with Sisters in Crime. And this is a collaborative anthology between the Private Eye Writers of America and Sisters in Crime called Deadly Allies. And it's a nice thick volume. And it's a lot of fun to have. There's a lot of the women writers in here. You've got Leah Matera, Sue Grafton, Susan Dunlap, Nancy Picard, Sarah Andrews, Carolyn G. Hart, Sarah Paretsky, and it goes on and on. And then, of course, you've got all the male PI writers too: Lauren D. Esterman, Rob Kantner, Robert J. Randisi, John Lutz. It goes on and on. This is a good volume if you're looking for some good PI fiction. There was kind of a tangential one. Now this one it's called The Eyes Still Have It. And these are all the Shamus Award winners, winning stories. And it was edited by Robert J. Randisi, but I don't see anywhere on here that it was released by the Private Eye Writers of America. So I'm not real sure if this one belongs with those ones, even though it is the Shamus Award winners, edited by Robert J. Randisi. But again, some great PI stories in there, great cover. And then one other book that they did release, which I'm happy to have, and I looked for this for years, was writing the Private Eye novel. And this is edited by Robert J. Randisi, and it's got contributions by Lawrence Block, Lauren D. Esterman, Ed Gorman, Sue Grafton. Sue Grafton, she talks about on using a writing journal. Lawrence Block talks about structure. So it's just a great book to have. And this one, I'm going to show you. This one is full of notes and highlights. And I think the person who had this book before, he got notes in the margin. He's got highlights all the way through it, and it looks like he was trying to write his own PI novel. And there's little clues here as to what city and what his character's name was. but I don't think anything ever came of it, unfortunately. But yeah, he's got underlined passages, highlights. So whoever had this, he or she, it could have been a she, found this very useful. But, you know, it's mine now. I really don't know what came of their character, if, you know, something happened to the person, or they just decided that they didn't really want to carry on with it. So yeah, that's... Yeah, the name of the city is, okay, it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek, called Yum Yumville, and the character's name is Roger Wilco. So that's kind of interesting, and yeah, I'm curious to see if anything came of that, but I'd have to look into that a bit more. Now there's a couple of tangential paperbacks I have here that aren't part of the Private Eye Writers of America, but these first two are kind of, you know, the basis of my PI short story collection. These are some of the early ones I got. This is A Hard-Boiled Detective, edited by Herbert Rum, and these reprint Black Mask stories that appeared between 1920 and 1951. Contents, it's got a Carol John Daly story in here, a couple of Dashiell Hammett stories, Frederick Nebel, Raymond Chandler, Earl Stanley Gardner, George Harmon Cox. I mean, just, you know, this is a great book. And the essay at the beginning talking about Black Mask and PIs, it's very helpful to me. Same with this one here. This is called The Great American Detective. And this is edited by William Kittredge and Stephen M. Krauser. And these are 15 stories starring America's most celebrated private eyes. So Sam Spade, Philip Marlowe, it has Perry Mason, it has Ellery Queen. So according to this book, they're belong in the private eye genre. Nero Wolfe, Lou Archer. So this is a great book. And this is a great introduction that goes in depth about these stories and about, you know, private eye fiction in general. So this is really worth picking up if you guys are interested and you want a really good book about PIs. This is a great one, and yeah, one of the treasures of my PI collection. Now this one, just a beat up old copy called The PI Files. Again, all PI stories. And you got Sue Grafton, Sarah Paretsky, Lawrence Block, Ed Gorman, John Lutz, and yeah, edited by Lauren D. Estelman. And what I would really love to see, I mean, I've got this book, the Mammoth Book of Private Eye Stories. I would really like, you know, like the big book of Black Mask stories. I really want to see a big book of private eye stories. Just a huge volume. There's so many private eye stories out there, so many great stories that should be seeing the light of day, and they don't. So this is a good start, the Mammoth Book of Private Eye Stories. And again, it's all private eye short fiction with some of the greats in here: Pronzini, Chandler, Lawrence Block, Stuart M. Kaminsky, Henry Kay, and Richard S. Prather. It's got a Dave Brandstetter story in here by Joseph Hansen. It's got a Dan Fortune story. This is a great book. This is a great start, but I'd love to see something like this in one of the big books, you know, that Otto Penzler puts out, with even more private eye stories. So yeah, I've got so many more, but I didn't want this video to go on forever. You know, there's a lot of mystery anthologies that have, you know, it's not all PIs, you know, but you might get a PI story or two in them, and I've got a lot of examples of that, you know, but I wanted to really concentrate on the ones that focused on private eyes. But yeah, that's a start. And that's just a few I wanted to share with you. And I hope your Private Eye July is going great. I hope you're reading a lot of private eye stuff. And I will talk to you soon. I'm going to do an update of what I've been reading. I read Act of Fear by Michael Collins. I'm reading currently Halo and Blood. And I'm reading a Bernie Gunther story too. So yeah, I'm going to talk more about them later. So until next time, I will talk to you soon. You guys keep reading.